Presidents of 3 major college universities were grilled by lawmakers on Capitol Hill today about anti-Semitism on college campuses. One moment from that hearing came from the Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik. She, by the way, is a graduate of Harvard. She asked that school's president if calling for the mass murder of African Americans was protected speech.
A Harvard student calling for the mass murder of African Americans is not protected free speech at Harvard, correct?
Our commitment to free speech.
It's a yes or no question. Is that corrected? Is that okay for students to call for the mass murder of African Americans at Harvard? Is that protected free speech?
Our commitment to free speech.
It's a yes or no question.
The analogy there is when you've got pro-Palestinian protesters chanting from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That is calling for the mass extinction of Jews. That's allowed on campus, but when she was asked something like that, couldn't get an answer.
Well, look, the deep dysfunction of America, we could go long on what's wrong with America's elite institutions of higher learning, not just in terms of this kind of politically divisive claptrap, but also in just failing to educate young people, right? In failing to furnish their minds with enough history, enough philosophy, enough of the world so that they can participate as adults. But I want to say this, and it's of a piece with this. If there was a terrorist attack on the United States of America, Americans would come together.
Yes.
The attacks. I hear you too. I hear a Republican and a Democrat down here saying that, and I understand why you feel that way. And I'm sure there's a good argument to be made. The United States had just gone through, to that point, the most divisive presidential election in history in 2000. It was chaos. It was pandemonium, over 534 votes in Florida, and there were many questions. And the United States came together after that attack, and I promise you the United States would come together again if there was an attack, because this is still the United States of America.
You're right. So, number one, with all due respect, I think this is one area where Johanna and I probably agree. Unfortunately, I think the nature of what's going on now is very different. There was a divisive election in 2000, but I don't think we questioned the motives of Al Gore in terms of, we might not have disagreed with his policies, but not his patriotism and his commitment to secure the border. I do have concerns, and I think a lot of Republicans would have concerns about whether this administration took the necessary steps. That being said, I think getting back to the point of this segment here, the idea that you can't answer a question like that, Chris is right, but who is teaching these people? When the leaders of our institutions show their colors by not being able to condemn this kind of behavior, that's pathetic.
Well, we're all living in our own silos. So here's one thing I would say is actually there are a lot of incredible professors and public school teachers teaching throughout this country history and all of the things that these kids need to know, philosophy, everything. And yet, when people live in their own bubbles, they only want to believe one thing. And that's what worries me, Chris. I pray that you are right. I hope that you are right. It just is so worrying, this moment in time.
I take your point that there are wonderful college professors and public school teachers, private school teachers all around. But I think this conflict has really started to show that, particularly on the political left, there does seem, and it exists on the right as well, it exists everywhere, but we have seen the left, the anti-Semitism.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.